Hi, my name is Nicholas. I'm a data subject and targeted individual in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm making another video for my data subject dialogue series on YouTube, and in connection with SA Act Now, which is a Facebook group, South Africa Against Covert Torture and Neuro Weaponry. This is specifically in connection with a convergence of new technologies that has occurred globally since as early as 2013 in South Africa. Publicly, I'm not sure how we acquired the equipment, but neural interfacing, brain-machine interfacing, biotechnologies and nanotechnologies have, as well as artificial intelligent computers, have all converged in a new spectrum in terms of our existence, with the fourth industrial revolution, as it was marketed in or at the United Nations and globally. In South Africa, this has caused scope for transparency and accountability within the system, around the system, and since 2013 we have been informed of failures by the state with regards to their intelligence certificates issued by the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence. So as far back as 12-13 years ago, the state of South Africa, as witnessed by former Inspector General of Intelligence Dr. Sekgomo Maro Dintwe, who highlighted it at the Zondo Commission hearings, the state has been responsible for at least 12 failed certificates with regards to the intelligence sectors run within the state. And this is very troubling news, especially when considered next to an article or a report such as the Istanbul Protocol, which is an effective mechanism to record and investigate torture. Page 19 details factors that support a belief a state was involved in an initial torture. Is an assumption we can make if the state is regularly associated with a number of factors such as being associated with delays and obstructions in the investigations of torture. So if the state has continued to do something like that, then it can forward the belief or support the belief the state was involved in an initial torture. So in South Africa, the context of which is the new democracy and the 4IR applications, so these state surveillance apparatus that have access to brain-machine interfacing through biotechnologies or neural technologies. Transparency and accountability has been repressed, has been suppressed, specifically in terms of another one of the factors, a modus operandi recognizably attributable to state-sponsored torture. Now, these are sad facts in the life of any person associated to them, but they are good points to take into consideration when considering allegations such as a state is involved in torture, and specifically with regards to being a data subject and accountability and transparency within the system in the South African context. So 12 years of continued failing from the state in terms of their intelligence sector reports issued by the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence, in my head, in my mind, talks to the facts recognizably attributable to state-sponsored torture. the modus operandi recognizably attributable to state-sponsored torture, because it has been systematic, it is continued for 12 years, and is an element in the consideration of whether there is supporting evidence to the belief that a state is involved in initial tortures, according to the guidelines of the Istanbul Protocol. So these factors, they add up, and in South Africa, the context through which we were first provided information on in 2013 with the Department of Health's association to the Human Capacity Development Program, and research that was being conducted by the Human Sciences Research Council in South Africa. This council is connected to research in a partnership with European Union countries, the European Union. So the fact that the European Union is conducting medical research utilizing biotechnology, nanotechnologies, and artificial intelligent computers within a state highlighted as failing intelligence certificates, and multiple instances of situations recognizably attributable to state-sponsored torture. It's difficult to wonder why they are still conducting their business in such a manner, because it would highlight human rights violations with regards to the standards of care supplied to South African citizens. So when encompassing a view of the South African situation, there are a few key points that should be raised behind the failure by the state to pass any of their intelligence reports issued by the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence. And these include the Human Capacity Development Program, as well as the crime detection technology that was launched by the South African Police Services back in 2018. This was also associated to the Major Offences Reaction Unit that was launched by the South African Police Services back in 2017-2018, that was utilizing this new technology. Now, how these just more harassment from street people, the civilian militia, which are supporting these corruptions. But that unit within the South African Police Services, the Major Offences Reaction Unit, was disbanded and discontinued after the effect. But as raised by the late Colonel Cronje, they were run in parallel to the anti-gang unit. Now, if one takes into consideration things like cyber torture, as highlighted by the Special Rapporteur on Torture to the United Nations, Dr. Niels Meltzer, in his A/HRC/43/49 UN Doc report on cyber torture, information terrorism, the capabilities of this system are vast, and having zero accountability and transparency within the system, that led to complaints by Colonel Cronje with regards to a program associated to artificial intelligent computers and the South African Police Services Fusion Center of this apparatus. It highlights further questions to the integrity of this applications, or these applications. And it's something I'm trying to raise dialogue about. So in terms of the data subject dialogue videos, these are points that have been raised in the South African media. They are points that support the belief a state is involved in an initial torture. So with regards to biased, discriminatory and prejudicial subjugation of data subjects to a coercive detention or forced confession environment, it's troubling, and I hope to raise awareness and a discussion on that. So I thought I'd make another video and see if anybody in South Africa or internationally would like to engage or just chat about these factors that are presenting themselves in South Africa. Otherwise, I hope all the data subjects and targeted individuals around the world are doing all right, surviving and finding a way through these continued human rights violations. Yeah, I wish you guys all the best. I thank you for watching, and take care. I hope to chat to you soon. Bye.